Hi, I'm Dr. Gary Sachs, and I'm here with Theresa Schmidt. We're both from Sachs Wellness Center, and we thought that maybe today we would talk a little bit about preparing and helping all of us get through the holidays that are about to start out here in as healthy a way as we possibly can. So, we know that this is a time to celebrate. We know it's a time to get together with family. It's also a time to be thinking about what's best for us and what's best for our family. Yeah. So, what kind of tips have you been thinking about?
Well, I do think that health is one of the best things you can give your family for the holidays. Mm-hmm. So putting some intention towards that. I know we have intention towards other things right now, but we have to keep intention towards health. And I think that does help, because if you keep that, like, instead of, oh, I have to do this, you think, oh, I can do this. You know, it's actually easier. But I mean, a lot of the things that we've talked about, you know, people are going to be gathering, and people show love with food. I know my family certainly does.
Sure.
And so we just have to be aware that that's going to be part of the deal, and bring your own good healthy things, so you have those options and you have that to turn to. Eat before you go. That's always a good one. Eat before you go, then you're not so apt to eat things that don't agree with you. But
eat something healthy before
yes,
you go,
exactly,
right?
Exactly. Yes, eat healthy before you go. And just that reminder, and we've talked about this quite a few times, but eating sugar can suppress the immune system, you know, depending on your thought process, but 75 to 90% for 5 hours, which, you know, most parties are about that long. So if you eat sugar at the party, you basically are suppressing a lot of your immune system during the whole time.
Just makes you more vulnerable.
Exactly. And right now we're trying to not be vulnerable to that type of thing.
Yeah.
And the other big one, and I see a lot of people, and I see a lot of people in the healthcare system and the education system. There's so much stress right now. There's so much stress. And stress, I think, is even worse than sugar. If anybody can believe I'm actually saying that out loud.
We know this is serious now, right?
Yes. I really feel that the stress, especially right now with everything going on, is magnified. People are literally having to make decisions about their livelihood.
Yeah.
Having to decide if they can actually keep their jobs, if they're willing to keep their jobs in exchange for, you know, the vaccination. So it's a really stressful time right now. And so what we want to make sure we do as much to counteract that stress as possible. And these seem like silly things, but go to bed on time.
It's not a silly thing. It's a big thing.
Get to bed by 10:30. Get to bed by 10:30. Drink your water. Eat green things. Eat green vegetable things. Eat colorful vegetable things. Exercise. Exercise is a big one too, because once, you know, and depending on the person and what time of day, once you run out of adrenaline, you're still stressing, you're still going to make a stress hormone. And that one's going to be cortisol now. And cortisol is going to create all kinds of other problems, including inflammation. So then on top of being stressed, then you hurt and you're achy. And if you already have a neck problem or a back problem or a hip problem or a gut problem, whatever problem, that's just going to make it worse.
Yeah, this is when it flares up and people, I don't know, I didn't do anything, you know.
Didn't eat too much different. That's because of the stress. So exercise is an excellent relief of stress. It helps burn off that excess adrenaline that's running through the bloodstream, helps bring those good, happy feelings up. You know, that kind of thing. So I really, really encourage people to exercise right now. It's a little bit snowy out, so some people aren't quite as willing to go outside. It's not too bad yet, but you want to start thinking about that ahead of time and make those alternative decisions about how you're going to exercise in the winter.
It's only going to get more snowy.
Yes,
so
it is. Yes. We're lucky we have the sportsplex here. People can walk indoors. There's the pool. They can swim. But, you know, get that treadmill out, take the clothes off it that you're hanging on it right now, get the bike out, get the rower out, get those things out. And even if it's just 10 or 15 or 20 minutes a day, and it doesn't have to be a mad dash thing. It just you need to exercise, get that cardio up, and burn off that excess adrenaline.
Yep. And if you were ever thinking that you wanted to start meditating, this is a really good time because holidays tend to run into each other with holiday parties and family get-togethers, and it just gets a little more stressful. So
yeah,
a good time for that. And don't let up on the vitamin D and the zinc for sure, at a minimum, at a bare minimum this time of year.
Yeah, vitamin C is important too. And I say that, and I know a lot of the people that actually watch this say, hey, I'm not taking vitamin C or zinc. I see you didn't tell me to do that. I check it on everybody. So if you don't need it, I've told you don't need it. But if
you're getting enough from your food.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Colorful vegetables for vitamin C, and the zinc and the calcium you get from dark green leafy things. And that's a thing I guess I really want to emphasize to people, that we aren't looking to get our calcium and things like that from milk.
Right.
Okay, we don't, and anybody over 1 year old doesn't need to, sorry, dairy farmers, but biologically, anybody over 1 year old doesn't need to drink milk. We get those minerals from our dark green leafy things. That's why I'm always telling people to eat their salads, eat dark green leafy things. Right. I'm not saying that there isn't a time that, you couldn't drink milk, but it's not necessary for that kind of thing. And milk isn't a good source of vitamin D either. So a lot of people think that
there's a reason why they had to add it in.
Yeah, and until up about 10 years ago, they were putting D2 in there. They were putting synthetic D in there. So anyway, that's not our source of vitamin D. That's not our source of vitamin D at all. So, right now, especially if we're talking about the immune system, we want to make sure the vitamin D levels are really, really good. People getting blood work, if they can get it, if they can get their doctor to do the D test. I like people to know they're supposed to be between 60 and 80 ml. So,
which is a little more than what they say is normal. But that's optimal. Yeah, and that's what we're after, is optimal.
Yeah, and we don't want to not just have scurvy and not have rickets. We want to be healthy. We want to have a good defense system with that vitamin D. So,
and maybe
things, basic.
Along those lines too, thinking about getting together with family. It's so easy now to get a test to see if you're COVID positive or not. And if you're feeling like you have even some mild symptoms and you're about, and the weekend's coming up and you're going to get together with your family, get tested, so that are you bringing this to the family or not, so it's an easy thing to do.
Yeah. So these are just general informational things that, a lot of times and I hear it a lot. I knew that, but I forgot about it.
Yeah.
Or, or I just, I'm not putting that much emphasis on it. So we're just trying to remind people the easy, simple things that they really should be doing every day.
Yep. Yep. So we hope this is helpful for you, and we hope that you have a happy and healthy Thanksgiving coming up. If you have any questions for us, you can reach out by phone, 989-732-7000, or through our website, www.sacswellnesscenter.com.